I can't fake it though. And I put that on my seed. If that ever come to be, Lord, take my soul. I vow to never break the code. And I always keep it G, but I'm doing just like me. They don't make no more. Can't let nobody play me though. It's however you wanna play it, so just know all the way there I'ma take it. Change for better while I'm chasing though. End of the day, I'm trying to make it home. There's a chance that I don't, but that's the way it goes.
What it do, man? It's your boy Black Freckles, aka
We see how this going.
you know, we back for another week of that thing.
Am I here too?
This is, yeah, man. Say something, bro. You used to acting like you busy and shit. So I was like, let me just intro the thing since this nigga so busy doing some shit that ain't fit to work. But, you know, I ain't hating on you.
Look at that vote of confidence. This is your boy Rebel, and this was indeed the Raw Hype.
Hey, man, they need to find something better to do than capture codes, man.
I asked her this morning because I had like 3 errors on this capture code. I said, hey, man, do they want me to like do all the capitals the same and shit? She's like, yes, everything. I was like, man, this is annoying. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
I didn't left a website before because of the capture code and shit. It's like, download the new World Star Hip Hop video. Then they ask me for some shit, and I'm like, man, I don't have it in me, bro. I don't have. Or it's like, you ever? I know you don't frequent like World Star or something, right? Mm-hmm. But this example I'm finna give you is why you don't go on World Star, right? Like I go on World Star and I click a video. In the video, I have a commercial, and the commercial will remind me that I don't really want to watch this video.
Hey, this happens to me often. And then you make it to where I can't skip. I'm out.
It's like I didn't even, and it's like a little shock to myself. Like I'm almost disappointed in myself that I would have watched the video if it didn't have a commercial. Because like you clearly don't want to watch it that bad if you wouldn't wait 15 seconds to watch that motherfucker, man. But you know, that's just my theory on ads and bullshit, man. Look, whatever you're doing, not finna work, bro.
I'm almost done, man. Again, this is Patreon. Nice to see you, beautiful people, back.
This is not a Patreon episode, bro. We don't have time to do that today, man. I got shit to do, man. Or maybe I don't, man. People call me and get on my goddamn nerves. People call me and get on my nerves. Like, over the last 2 weeks, bro, like, I have no idea why, but people have been getting on my nerves,
This
bro.
niggas need 3 to 5 days to verify identity and shit.
I told you this shit wasn't finna happen, man. Shit don't work, bro. It doesn't. Shit don't work, bro.
Shit don't be working,
Shit don't work,
man.
Like, no bullshit. Things do not work. And this is what happens every time we try to do something. We be like, man, by next time we need to have it up.
Mm-hmm.
By the next time, and then it'll be like, man. And then every time it be the same shit. Like, we don't have enough time to fix whatever the fuck don't work that costs money.
No, it's gonna cost. The one thing about what they got going on, they trying to cost you some money.
Man, I hate that people bother me, man. Like, I hate that people bother me, especially before I'm finna try to do something, like record the podcast and shit.
I know, yep.
So it's like, you changed the whole mood of my cast and shit. I was in a good-ass mood and shit. And I'm like, why must you bother me, man?
Why must I be like that?
With stupid shit, man.
Thank you.
Let me talk about children, man. All right, since you playing around and apparently it's just me today, I'll talk. Let me talk about children. Having children is like the task of crazy people. It's the task of crazy people. Like, I'm gonna talk about this later, but before I took a fast from social media, I seen someone on Snapchat, and they were like celebrating having a baby, right? And I seen it, and it was like it's like how I feel when I see someone like thanking Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
shit.
I'm like, people still do that? I felt like it was something that I hadn't seen in a long time in a way of, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I seen it and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you having a child? And the reason that it just confuses the fuck out of me is because I feel like we now have enough information in this world to know that, one, we don't know what's going on, and two, things aren't so great these days. Things aren't so great these days. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of shit, you know? It kind of like rubs me a weird way because I think it's like, it's just crazy, you know?
Shout out to Plains, the Raw Hyper, Root, the Raw Hyper. They are actually expecting So we definitely want to send a Raw Hype shout out to you and that wonderful seed that you got on the way. Please don't confuse anything he said with that beautiful bud. You got abundant in the oven.
If you want to have a child, okay, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I just don't comprehend it.
I just don't know why.
Yeah, I don't comprehend it, bro. And it's like, y'all, you know me. I can feel a way and still be something else. Like, as I always say, everybody know I love my daughter to death. You know what I'm saying? So, despite that, you feel what I'm saying? Like, kids come with things that there is no good side to some of the things. Like, I'll give a good example.
Please, come on, give it to me.
Let's say you're not with the person that you have a child with, right? Like, that's a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing in theory. Like, two people that aren't together could have a healthy relationship and raise a healthy child. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the rarity of that being a thing is, like, such a big deal as far as like having children and like how people should be very cautious with having children, because yeah, we all know somebody that them and their baby mom or baby dad or whatever get along and they have a great relationship and blah blah blah.
Some people that works.
It's the minority for sure. Like it's the minority for sure.
Having a functional house with kids is definitely the minority.
Yeah, so that's always my biggest hang up with children is that they come attached with someone else. Like, I actually think that's the most important part. Like, even if you are with the person that you have a kid with, y'all gonna have different parenting styles. Y'all gonna have different ideas. It's gonna be, hell, like I always even talk about before we started, like favoritism towards one parent and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's all just a big, complex thing of things that we don't understand that we keep doing because it makes people feel good. You know what I'm saying? But you ever get that? It looked like you fixed it, man.
At least I did something else.
What are you on now?
Facebook.
Oh. Well, I ain't talking now, man. You made me talk for 10 minutes straight when you're the one that said, hey, bro, hit record so you can not talk for 20 minutes and shit.
I was here engaged with you. Did I leave you hanging at any point? No.
Pretty much the whole time.
Not at all. I chimed in. Hey, let's not start arguing again. You know that's how they love it.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
People love when we argue. And Hype made a good reasoning why. I guess this is why. Because they feel we agree too much.
Right.
But my brain says we all should agree with right. So if he was right, I'll agree. So I should just be a contrarian because we have a show. That's what I don't like about Skip and Shannon. I feel like some of their arguments are like, we have to argue, so say something crazy so I can say how crazy you are. That's not fun to me.
I disagree, although I agree.
You disagree?
With the Skip and Shannon part.
Yeah, can you like them niggas?
I mean, who doesn't? You know?
I don't not like them niggas. I just don't like how that style of show.
Yeah, it's almost like Jerry Springer. It's like, it's like
argumentative for argumentative sake.
No doubt.
And in order to keep arguing for years, you have to find random shit to argue about. Like the other night, Skip was like, Shannon was like, LeBron didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. And then Shannon was like, yo, he did like 15 points. He's the reason there was a fourth quarter. He's like, the last 50 seconds. He's like, now you're talking about 56 seconds? I'm like, that's an example of him going overboard just to argue with him about something. And it gets nasty at a point, man. Like,
I completely agree with that.
So that's what I mean. So if we have something to argue about, I would love to argue with you. I won't like to argue with you. I don't argue with people. And that's one of the main reasons I be staying off internet, yo.
Respect.
I was just on the internet the other day, right? We're going to talk about you at the internet. Yeah. And I saw this woman, and it disgusted me, man. Like, shout out to Amp, Random Acts Podcast, man. Appreciate you. Why? He blocked her, because you know how Amp be posting people that post blocked. And I always go to see, well, what did they do? Right. And this lady said, she was like, she was going out on a date with a guy. And the guy said, well, she's like, she ain't been to the gym since the pandemic. And the guy's like, well, I live a very active, healthy fitness lifestyle, so I don't think this may work. And then she's like, so you want to cancel the date? He's like, I think that'd be for the best. She goes, well, you're lost then, motherfucker. I'm a great motherfucker. I'm an amazing person. Right? So somebody comes under that comment and says, of course, wow, that was crazy. She's like, right? Ain't it? Then she's like, I have hashtags dedicated to all my bad dates. Right? Mm-hmm. She has a picture there. It says 100 posts. Damn. Right? And then A gentleman, commented under and says, "Wow, where are you getting these guys from?" Her response, seems a little victim blamey to me. I did that, and then I immediately was like, well, what?
That's funny.
And then the guy's like, I'm just asking, if you have 100 posts of failed dates, are you finding these guys on Tinder, Twitter? Like, where are you finding them? That may be part of the issue. And she took that as, seems a little victim blamey.
Let me interrupt you, man.
I can't be on the internet if that's what they do over there, man.
This is an example, like, dead ass serious, is why I, like, hate everyone. And the reason that, especially, like, I've had a rough 2 or 3 weeks, man, so I really do feel like I hate everyone. But the reason that I hate everyone is because they do things like that, and they move like that. You know what I'm saying? In a way of, and I even get how she came up with that. I completely get it.
Victim blaming?
Yeah, I completely get
man.
it.
You don't respond. Go ahead.
Listen,
I'm gonna let you rock.
I get it from, if they ask, well, where you meeting these people at, you're right. You're basically saying, oh, so wow, I'm meeting people at the wrong place. It's my fault. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that I get the mind that it comes from, and that is why I hate people. You feel what I'm saying? Because that mind exists.
And that mind should be first.
Exactly. It's like, I even see how you pulled this out of your ass, but I don't appreciate it very much.
Put it back up in there, lady. I
don't appreciate it very much. That's what I feel
nasty,
about it,
man. Like, again, you could say, you could have even used that as an example to say, I don't know, Earth just has shitty men, I guess. You can say any kind of response. Saying, well, that sounds a bit victim blamey. What? You think I'm victimizing you, the lady who's been on over 100 bad dates? Clearly the common denominator in 100 bad dates is your ass. So maybe you need some blame. And this is what we was talking about over the weekend and shit. Well, whatever we talk. The fact that we have a woman here off camera, right? So if you hear us talk about women, there's a woman here to defend. We'll see if she does or not. But here's what I like to say. When you don't take accountability for a situation, you don't get the lesson in that situation. So you have an empty experience or an experience that's incorrect. Getting the lesson from an experience solidifies that experience. Hey, I was running with my shoes untied. I tripped over my shoe. I fell. I hurt my knee. Mm-hmm. Your brain says, tie your shoes before you run. Right? Oh, I go in the garbage can and take out a used condom, put a turkey baster, put the nut inside of me, have a baby, and now you need to pay me child support. Judge, you're awarded $4,000 a month. The lesson of, hey, don't take someone's nut that they threw away out the garbage is not learned there. Because the judge she rewarded you for that act. So now here goes another person who might do something similar. And then the other person is like, oh, well, fuck you. And then they either leave, don't get a judgment, kill you. Like anything can come for it, all because you didn't learn the lesson from it. And then when you allow it to be seen like this, you tell other people, well, shit, it's a free fall. Sadly, let me bring it back to the Lakers. The thing about the Lakers, they say this season is you can get anything you want from the Lakers.
That's what they say.
So like whatever style of play you want, if you want to go in the hole, you can get it. When you let people go without accepting accountability for their actions, you let them believe and let others believe you can get whatever you want from this person. And that's why I have a problem with it, man.
I respect that. I feel that. I respect that.
And women, number one, because they're the one that has the least accountability they have the least accountability acceptance rate.
We were just talking recently, you and I, about how we don't talk about women that much on the Raw Hype anymore.
That's why I'm on it.
And today is like one of those days where I'm in a woman mood. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on it today.
And the reason that I'm in a woman mood is because I get so fucking tired of women and the shit that they do and the shit that they pull and the shit that men have to put up with that are things that not only do we have to put up with them, but that's not even acknowledged that we put up with it.
Exactly. That goes back to the accountability. It's as if it, without accountability, it's as if it doesn't exist.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, so to them, that didn't happen. So it's like, Whereas you could use those as an examples to learn to better yourself in the future. But if you don't accept the accountability, that never happened. So every time is my first time.
Yes.
Like Ludacris, nigga, back for the first time. This is an example of why I love women. Because I know how it would make y'all happier and live a better life.
No, this is my problem with women for real, bro.
Man.
Is that you can't do no right by them, yo. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but they just unpleasable.
That don't sound crazy at all.
I don't like that they're unpleasable, and I don't like that you can't make them happy, because a woman that's unhappy can never be trusted.
It's not that they're unpleasable. It's that we just want more. And
That's a
more.
different way to say
that's a different,
unpleasable.
exactly.
Yes. But see, like, I can say what a woman is, and it's unpleasing, and she'll tell me what a woman is when it's the exact same thing.
In a nicer way.
It's in a nicer way.
That's all it is.
It's in a nicer way. Okay, but this is my same thing, right? You can't be trusted for the same reasons that I just said, right? If you always want more, right? So let's say I give you compliments. I give you compliments. I give you compliments. I give you compliments, right? But let's say your work husband give you compliments, right? So you look at it like, I get compliments all the time at home, and then I get compliments all the time at work. I like it because it's more. Simply like you just said, it's more.
One of them needs to do more, because if they're both giving compliments, I'm going to get tired of both. So one of you needs to up it more.
Okay.
More.
All right. So now y'all are
you're
in a competition
that you didn't even know you in.
Right? So let's say neither one of y'all step it up, right? And then Joe Schmo somewhere else start throwing in the compliments. It's like, oh, I'll just listen to him. It's more. And what women do is they do things like this, and it's not malicious. It's just that, like how Aisha Curry said, I like when a stranger tells me, like, hey, I look good. And everybody heard it and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so mean to Steph. She's this, she's that. It's like, no, it's not malicious in any way. It just feels good. But the problem with women that they don't understand is they don't understand that they will be vulnerable enough to let something that's not malicious turn into something real. So if you say something about it to start with, like, hey, what the fuck? I get that I'm out of line because you haven't done anything. But I also get what this could turn into, and even if you don't get it, I do, so it makes me out of line for me protecting something that you don't even know that it's a thing because you're not being malicious about it.
Back to accountability. The reason you don't know it's malicious because you don't know it exists.
Yes.
You don't know this simple banter
Yes.
that you're saying is somebody else gonna use
Yes.
as a way to manipulate you
Yes.
to get what they want.
Yes.
So us trying to protect women from the harms of the world
Yes.
is weird as a negative. Like, fucking asshole, you don't give a shit. You is misogynistic.
control
You
it.
just trying to control
Yes.
me. You think it's a patriarchy.
Yes.
Nigga, women run shit.
Yes.
And I'm like, hey, man, I'm trying
Straight
to
up.
help you.
Because I always say, right, like, let's say, I always say this about every woman on earth, okay? I say every woman on earth that has social media, I said she does something on her social media that her man would not approve of, right?
Fact.
And when people hear that, they always say, oh, I don't think that's true.
Why she need your approval
Right.
to live her life?
So then I give a simple example, all right? My example is, let's say there's a guy that messages your girl every morning, and he says, good morning,
Hey,
beautiful. All right? That's all he says, right? And all she says is thank you, right? And she looks at it like, it makes me feel good. I don't give a shit about this loser. He knows I got a man. I post my man. I don't have no conversation with him besides that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck, right? Okay.
Harmless.
Right. But then let's say you and her broke up, right? And then he say, good morning, beautiful. And then this time she say, thank you. You always make my day. It's like, all right, she look at it like I'm single, right? You feel what I'm saying? And then he say, then she say, you always make my day. And then he say, wow, she said something more than what she usually say. So I'm finna see if she'll make conversations.
go.
So then he started having casual conversations.
It's Tuesday. Did he buy
Right.
you tacos today?
So hold up. Now let's say at this point she's single, so she's not wrong, right? So she wasn't really wrong for just saying thank you before. So we say, and then she's not really wrong for saying you make my motherfucking day. I feel like shit. Me and my man then broke up. Boom, right? So then you say this, all right? So then that turned into a conversation. She like how I make him feel. She feel like he been consistent.
That's the
that
word
means
right
something
there,
to
boy.
women.
That's that
she
word.
feel like he been consistent with pursuing her this entire time. So then she might say, well, shit, I'm going to hang out with Cuz right now. She hang out with Cuz. She throw Cuz a bone, right? Her and Cuz have a good time, right? So then let's like say some time go by. Let's say it's a month. And then you and her start talking again. And then y'all get back together, right?
As it does.
Y'all back together and things just as perfect as they been.
As they are.
She's never going to tell you that she fucked Joe Schmo that be hitting her up every morning, right? Okay. You're already not going to like that. But then she's not going to tell Joe Schmo to never contact her again afterwards. She might just go back to just let Joe Schmo say good morning and she's saying thank you. You feel what I'm saying? So it'll be some shit like that's so minuscule that turns into something, but at the end of the day, it was nothing the whole time, but if you knew about it, you wouldn't approve. Like when y'all was together, she didn't give him more than thank you. When y'all was apart, is when she fucked him. But then when y'all got back together, she not finna tell you that she did that. And she also never gonna cut off Joe Schmo.
That's the thing. She gonna keep Joe Schmo in the pocket. Good old Cuz in the pocket is what she got.
And even if you seen it yourself, you see her talking to Joe Schmo, and you said he say good morning, she say thank you. Like, who am I to be like, God damn it, don't be like it's ridiculous for you to do that, but by the same token, it's not.
But because she thinks nothing's wrong, she's okay with it.
Yes.
If you do it.
Oh yeah.
If you fuck a Cuzarina
Oh yeah.
while you was a break
Oh,
and
yeah.
you ain't tell her, that is a large
Yeah.
problem.
Oh, for sure.
But when it's on day end, it's not that serious. And that's a fucking talent women can have, man. That it's never that serious when it's on day end.
But the reason that it's not a big deal when they do this is because they think it was your fault. Whatever we broke up was your fault. Okay?
Me having to deal with this nigga is your fault.
No doubt.
Him being consistent and you not
No doubt.
is your fault.
And me never telling you is your fault.
'Cause
Like,
I
I'm
don't
not
trust
finna. You're not somebody I can talk to like that and open up to. But yes, bro, it's like.
Do you have anything to say for the female delegation?
I'm not going to say much right now. I'm
Okay.
just gonna listen in to you.
Let the bashing continue.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you guys are going back to your old ways. I was going to say you have.
But you
grown
see what
so
I'm saying?
much,
Yeah.
but
This
he's
is
not.
considered bashing. You just pointed out a plausible situation and scenario with a result that everyone knows is sure.
Yeah.
But because I guess it's you saying it, we're bashing.
But it's also your fault. Like, I wouldn't have
Holy
to talk
shit.
to another man if you didn't do whatever it is that you did that we broke up. It's your fault. And it's your fault that he's consistent. And you probably weren't, whether it be the trash, the dishes, school rides.
So you need to be
whatever.
consistent with the trash, the dishes, and
You
school
just
ride.
need to be consistent with a, hey, good morning, beautiful.
Showing me that you're able to be consistent.
See?
You know,
And every woman thinks like that.
that is what's sad. But here's why it's sad to me, though. Is because, like, they think that that's okay.
Because it's your fault. That's why they think it's okay. Everything
But
that
it's
happens with a
not.
man and a woman in a relationship, the woman for sure think it's the dude's fault.
Like, me and my friend will telegram. I'll talk shit about my man. She'll talk shit about her man. And the consistency with that is we never talk about what we did. It's just
Never.
what y'all like.
Ever.
And it's funny to look back and be like, we really are assholes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm bashing my man. You're bashing your man. We're like, look at them. They both have shit in common. They don't even know each other. Meanwhile, we're over here causing like 70% of the commotion and
Straight
the
up.
problem.
Like, girls be talking to their homegirl, and they be talking about their man like how they finna leave that nigga. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's what they tell
There
their
should be
friends.
graphic in there, dog.
Like, they be in there for real, like, lying to their friends.
That's what it
like,
is.
I'm finna leave this nigga, man.
But not only that, they be lying about what happened,
Yes.
though.
All of it is a lie. No bullshit. Yes.
This is the week.
I'm telling you. That's what, like,
Cause
no
and
bullshit.
effect.
No bullshit.
Right. I'm a big proponent of cause and effect. And it's because it's real.
Yeah.
Every action has a reaction. Women seem to only care about the reaction and ignore the action. Why is he not being consistent after all these years? Do you have anything to do with it? Of course not.
Of course not.
What? That's impossible,
Yes,
though.
bro.
Why? Oh, perfect example. I don't wash dishes in my house anymore.
Okay.
I was washing dishes, right? And I realized some people, the dishes would be washed, somebody would throw a fork or a bowl in there. So I was like, hey guys, anytime you use a dish, wash the dish. It's very easy. It takes seconds. And in that way, there will be no dishes for anyone to do because you had a bowl and a spoon, it's washed. You had a cup and a plate, it's washed. These people in my house who I've been telling this to for weeks now still just puts dishes in the sink repeatedly. I'm still washing everything I use. They're piling up the dishes. So I go, hey, I'm no longer washing dishes because any dish that I use, I will wash. So no dish in the sink will ever be mine. So I will never wash dishes again. So now they have to wash all the dishes.
Right.
As opposed to washing their one dish. Right. Cause and effect. So now she might tell her friend, this asshole don't wash dishes no more. I don't know who the fuck he think he is. Now I gotta wash dishes, take care of the kids, pick up the kids, cook the food. She about to pile it on. And I go, well, what about the cause?
Your girl complains to her friends about whatever it is you don't do, despite the reason that you don't do it.
Despite the reason.
No bullshit.
But that's my point. Despite is the reason.
Yeah.
You can't despite the reason.
That's irrelevant. It does not matter, bro. Like, it does not matter, bro.
Oh, that's disgusting,
it does not
man.
matter, yo.
And that's what leads to the problems, man. That's what leads to the issues. Women. That accountability is the fucking linchpin to everything, man.
Yes.
Take the accountability, everything changes.
The problem with women,
like a fucking Narnia's door,
is that they have all these...
It's a whole new world behind them.
All these stereotypes of what they are, and they're the opposite of that. Like, they're known as these loving, nurturing creatures.
This lady just says, we say the meanest, evilest things.
Oh, yeah.
We're animals.
Yeah.
They know they're animals, but they sell pleasant.
Yes. Like it. I even said this to you recently.
Like Amazon.
Like, men love harder than women.
It is.
And women have a reputation for loving harder than men. And I'm like, you can't love harder than men. Like, women be on some shit like they think they've been in love with 15 niggas. Like, a nigga that's not a bitch does not think he's been in love with 15 women in his life, yo. He doesn't. He doesn't think he's been in love with 5.
He don't even claim some.
Women be dead ass thinking they in love like after 3 weeks, but after 2 weeks. And it's like, because you don't love that hard. You love quickly.
But
it's a difference, bro. It's a difference.
But see, that's the thing, though. It's like, they don't realize... What is special about your love if a nigga can get it in a week and a half and you done gave it to 20 niggas?
Yes.
So
or
now,
what's special about your love if it just comes with, I don't want you to have sex with nobody else?
That's the name of this episode. What's special about your love?
I feel like, you want to rap about that, man?
Come on, baby. You can finish your point.
I don't remember it, love type beat. Man, I just don't get why people get on my nerves, bruh. I can't, like, get over and stop thinking about the things that I think about. This is why people getting on my fucking nerves, particularly women, is so annoying to me. Because whatever you're trying to stop me from doing, I'm fine without doing it.
You think I want or need to do this. So you're going to do some manipulative, negative shit to stop me. It's like, hey, how about we talk?
Yeah, it's that kind of shit. It's like, yo, I don't need to do what you think I'm trying to do so bad, or what you, like, keep me from doing and shit. Because, like, a lot of the shit, like, I'll just even give this example. Like, when I deal with shit with, like, my baby mama, right? The shit that I deal with her is, like, if you try to stop me from doing something that has to do with my daughter or something like that, I just look at it like, hey, as long as she know that you stopping it,
I'm good. That nigga said, I'll tell.
I'll tell. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, as long as you know that I'm not the one stopping it, I'm like, it bothers me, but that's pretty much it. You feel what I'm saying? Because people try to hide who they are from their children. They try to hide who they are from their significant other. They try to hide who they are from everybody, bro. And it's just... It's just weird, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? People don't want you to know who they are.
That's a fact.
And
I can name out the fucking thing that.
Yeah. Because it was even like, hell, you gave, I don't know if you said it on the podcast or you gave it to me, but you was basically saying something like somebody was coming to your house and your old lady wants to, like, wash clothes or do something. Some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like some shit that it's like, why would you care to do this?
Man. They
If
don't
you
care.
welcome in my house, I don't give a fuck about what you think about my house. Like, because me and you cool enough for me to not care what you think about my house. Like, as far as my house goes, like, I know it's nice. It's mine.
People want to present perfect.
Yes.
And that's the problem because it's impossible.
Yes,
so you're
man.
having an impossible fight reoccurringly. And then you go have that fight with other people. Now you want the person you fuck with to be perfect.
Oh,
it's
for
like
sure.
we're not going to get these things, guys. It's like saying you want to turn off the sun. Like, you're never going to do that. So why is that a want of yours? And that's what leads to disappointment because you don't get what you want. But what you want is what you can't get.
True. That's true. But that's what people want, man. They want something that they can't get.
Who did this to us, man?
Man, I was just talking about this last night.
Women?
Women did, man.
They did, though.
They did, bro.
Because everything is done in the name of pleasing women.
It is.
And like she just said, like you said, you're unpleasable. So
Yes.
now I got to go above and beyond every time.
And then there's men that make it harder for...
Because they do so little.
Yes. And it's niggas that give a bitch everything. They're the ones that really fuck up
Our
everything.
world is so extreme, right? A nigga give a woman everything. It won't be enough. So then the next man who ain't giving enough is looked as he ain't giving anything.
Yep.
No one can ever be happy.
No.
Because he thinks giving her everything should be good, and it's not enough. So, like, what should I do now? How about I do nothing? Well, nothing's not enough. Well, what do you want? I want you to never stop trying to outdo yourself. My cousin told me about this dude who went on a date with a girl. He took her to, like, Paris or something. It was like for Valentine's or something. It was his first date. He took her to Paris, gave her a bunch of flowers and shit, rented a car out, gave her a purse and all this shit. On his first
I would never.
date.
Yeah, I would never.
That's some shit you do and you finna propose, nigga. That's the first. So imagine the bar that is set for that relationship. If he does nothing for the rest of the year, which I think he's earned,
Oh, for sure.
she's gonna be like, you ain't what you used to be. You remember we used to do all these fun things.
You'll
you used
never
to
be
take
what
me
you
on
used to be.
trips.
You'll never do. It's like when Drake was talking about that shit. He was like, people like, I want the old Drake back. And then he was like, you want like me to rap how I used to rap? He said, or you want me to give you the feeling that I used to give you when you were in college and what was it? So Far Gone. So Far Gone came out and you had never heard of Drake and you were vibing and loving my music. He's like, I can't give you that again. And that's not even just women. It's what humans want. It's like why people use drugs and shit. They like want to be high like they was the first time and shit.
And you can never
But
find it.
honestly, man, I've had a rough 3 weeks, man. I've had a rough 3 weeks, man. Like, I'm off of social media. I'm not watching television. I'm not playing video games for the next 30 days. Man, I be feeling like I need like a cleanse sometimes, man, from humans.
Purge.
It's like the interaction that I have, it's like overkill. You know what I'm saying? And then when people in my real life start to get on my fucking nerves, and then I add the overkill of the people on the internet and shit, and then I'm taking in ideas from TV and all this kind of shit, it make me feel like, who am I? You feel what I'm saying?
Nigga
Like,
getting
man,
lost in the sauce.
Let me sit the fuck down and figure me out real quick. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, the people in my real life that get on my fucking nerves, they get on my nerves in a way of saying, like you are like a good example of why like life is so terrible. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like an example of like you exist and people like you exist. And I feel like you go out of your way to try to make other people miserable. Or I feel like you so out of touch with reality that you don't give a fuck about nobody else. And then I start to see and feel like that's how most people are. It's like they so out of tune with reality that they don't know how to give appreciation. They don't know how to show empathy. They don't know how to look at something from a fair point of view. They don't know how to put themselves in somebody else's shoes.
Give a nigga a chance.
They don't know how to take accountability for their own problems. And it's like, man, being alive is whack. And it's like, and it's whack because no matter what you do in life, like let's say I had $1 billion, okay? And then like you just simply tell me the story of the Amazon killer. Did we talk about him on here?
No.
Do I want to talk about the Amazon killer?
When you listen, I know who you got in the house that would love to hear about the Amazon killer.
You don't know about the Amazon killer? Oh, okay.
Finish.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the Amazon killer real quick, and I'm going to get back to my point of why life is whack.
In true Raw Hype fashion. Have at it.
All right, so the Amazon killer, that motherfucker like kill somebody and like dig a grave with a shovel and then he'll leave a review on Amazon of the shovel like, he like, the shovel worked perfect for hiding the bodies. and he was leaving Amazon like reviews
Holy
and shit,
shit.
right? So he had hired this couple to come to his house and do some work or whatever, right? So they get to the house and he take them to the back. He walked back up to him, pull out the shotty, and just shoot the boyfriend like a whole bunch of times in the chest. Then take the girl and like tie her up in some little spot and shit,
It was
right?
one of those containers.
Yeah, like a shipping container, right? So this what dude told him, right? He said, hey, I don't believe in raping a girl. Like, I don't believe in rape, all right? So when I come down here and tell you like what I want to do, like you need to want to do that shit. He said he need to want to do that. And if I feel like you don't want it, then I just give you the same thing I gave your boy Charles. You feel what I'm saying? So she was trapped for like 2 months before people found her, right?
And he
so,
was successful. He was
a real estate agent.
He had like money.
He was a regular dude.
Like, people knew him around town. Like,
right. So this is my whole point, right?
person.
Like that happening to somebody showed like how life is terrible, right? But even us hearing about it is terrible.
I'm over here like, look at who we live with. Like, man.
You can still see his Amazon reviews, I think, on Amazon.
Oh yeah, he got great reviews.
Yeah, he literally was like
Yeah.
the things he used to kill people. He would leave amazing reviews.
Like, so-
great to gut.
So
just crazy.
he would just like, just do little shit, crazy shit. So when he was talking to the police or whatever, telling them like what was going on, he was like, but yeah, a few years ago I went into this motorcycle shop and I just shot everybody in the motorcycle shop. They was like, you the super bike killer? And he was like, yeah. It was like 11 years earlier. He was like, yeah, I had bought a bike from them and I ain't really know how to ride a bike. So he said, so when I went back up there the next day, I was like kind of trying to like get some pointers or whatever on how to ride a bike. He was like, and they pretty much just laughed me about that bitch. So he said, so the next day I just went in there and shot everybody and shit, right?
Man.
So I'm like, all right, so you can take the people that he did this to all the way around. But like I said, repeating again, like if I have $1 billion and I hear that, that's a terrible thing to hear. If I have $1 billion and that happens to me, that's a terrible thing to happen to me.
If you
So
had $1 billion, though, you wouldn't hear things like that.
you would.
You wouldn't. Your world would be so far detached from that.
You think people with $1 billion don't be
Don't watch
on
the news? Or
don't be on Netflix binge and shit.
Consumes a second. Maybe they have it in the background when
Man.
they're checking their stocks. I highly doubt.
I get this, but you're also talking from a broke person standpoint.
I was just about to say
That's not
that this is a broke conversation.
Yeah, it'd be like, you said,
I bet billionaires don't like cheese on their grits.
I was just about to say, billionaires do not eat at McDonald's. Like, yeah, that sounds good, but I guarantee you there's billionaires that eat at McDonald's. There's billionaires that sit around doing nothing. Cause think of like let's say your husband was the billionaire, and you was just sitting at home. And you were sitting at home, you watching TV and reality shows and the same shit you would be doing. Like, so you saying it because they have that billionaire mindset. But if I'm a billionaire through marriage, I don't have that billionaire mindset. I'm laid up chilling.
If my come up was on some... You may not say that.
But yeah, my whole point of saying all of that is, on a grand scale, life is terrible, and then people make it worse than it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's no getting around how it's terrible. Like how people say like happiness, money don't buy happiness. It's for reasons like that. Like you can have money, but when you turn 45, you turn 45. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's terrible.
Money ain't gonna stop that 35.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like stuff like that is like unavoidably terrible. Or certain people that you run into, or certain people that you may have in your life, and like how Kim Kardashian having to deal with Kanye shit right now in public. It's like being Kim Kardashian doesn't make that okay.
I really feel like Kanye's gonna OJ her. Like I feel like we're heading.
People keep saying that.
It's very unstable. Like what he's doing.
First
like
things
it
first,
is.
OJ didn't do nothing.
Sorry.
They don't all be in like the same family type.
Which is why I'm saying it's almost
that would
due.
be weird.
Don't, hey, we are not influencing anything here at the Raw Hype, ladies and gentlemen.
He is very, very, very over the top and
He's
irrational.
very on the edge.
Obsessed with her. He's obsessed
Yeah.
Exactly,
with
and
her.
that's what it is. I told you this the other day.
Women-
Kanye is living in a Kanye suit.
Right.
Meaning he has to live up to what being Kanye is, and he changes what being Kanye is so much that no one knows what being Kanye
Have
is.
you watched the Netflix?
No, I ain't watched
Not
it.
yet.
But that's old
Me neither.
Kanye.
Yeah.
He wasn't crazy. He was the one making, and this is
Yeah,
why.
I feel like Kanye was always crazy.
Because everybody, like they always say, man, genius and crazy go hand in hand. You got to be a little bit crazy to be able to pull off certain things that will then make you a genius. So they live in the same world.
It's only so
But
much crazy that you can do, though, before people are like, all right.
it's when you start believing you're crazy. When you start believing
Yeah.
your own crazy, that's when you
It be
become
crazy
crazy.
to me when black people be really trying to defend Kanye and say he's not crazy. I'm like, I'm sorry, Kanye is crazy.
He's crazy.
Like
I was telling you, though, there might be reasons that triggered the craziness. You had an amazing rebuttal, though. I said, man, the man just lost his mother and stuff. He's like, man, I lost both my parents.
Yeah,
Damn, what'd you
I've
say?
been broke my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
My mother is dead. My father is dead. I came to Florida broke and by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I suffer from depression and being suicidal my damn self. So it's like, these things aren't an excuse. I was like, you have $1 million and fuck the baddest bitch on the
Yeah,
world.
that was his. That sure. Sorry, but that was amazing.
Like, come on now.
Because you're minimizing it technically, but when you say that it's a beautiful presentation, you go, you're fucking one of the most popular people in the entire world, and you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
And you depressed.
Yeah, like I feel like by default you should at least be happier.
I was
than
about to
me.
say you should have a baseline level of happy that a billion and the greatest woman ever
No doubt.
shouldn't drop.
Yeah, and that should be on your worst day above my best day.
When you feeling your lowest, just say, "Man, I got about $1 billion and I can
Like,
fuck
for real.
Kim Kardashian tonight."
Just check your balance.
I just
But at the same token, though, what he's doing is wrong.
not to interrupt, but that's another example of how having kids and who you have kids with makes for a miserable life. Like dead ass.
Because technically, you can look at it as if like he wants to be with his kids, but how you going about it is wrong.
Yep.
So then she's trying to protect her kids, but then she doesn't want also that stigma of look at this white woman who keeping this black man from his baby and all.
Yes.
Like it's so much that comes with that.
course.
But when the man is acting the way he's acting, you kind of go like, man, it's that what you just said is a perfect example of why who you have kids with is a problem.
Yes.
Could be a problem because of a position like that. She's in a unique position where she can't be happy.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And her even trying to be happy with someone else is a shot to him because now he wilding out going at Pete. Again, we was talking. Hype's like, man, Pete gotta whip Kanye's ass.
Yeah, like dead ass.
And then he's
Dead
like,
ass.
imagine that's you and your lady.
Yeah.
And her ex is online saying, yeah, man, I'll beat your ass. You ain't shit.
Right.
You ain't gonna never see my kids. And she making your girl cry and you there sitting with him. You would have been whipped his ass.
You wanna whip to that. Because this is what it is, though.
I don't see Pete fighting.
Me either.
It's not a Pete thing.
He's a lame.
I know you did say. I was trying to refrain from that. Because when he said that,
is.
you go, man, I don't want to say that. But then
He
it's
is.
like,
He's a lame.
if you ain't whipped Kanye ass,
Like, no bullshit.
it's some form of lame you got going on. I don't care what the media
It's not
say.
even that. This is why he lame. Okay?
Go.
What Kim Kardashian has going on is the type of baggage that makes her undateable. And you're dating her, okay? And the only way for you to not be a lame by dating someone that has this much baggage is by whooping the nigga ass who bringing the baggage. Those are your options. Like if you date a girl who got a crazy baby dad, your options are I'm gonna deal with her crazy baby dad all the time, or I'm gonna have to whoop this nigga ass. That's what makes her undateable. Because if you grown, I don't want to have to whoop your baby dad ass. But if I'm going to date you, I'm not being left many options to show that I'm not the nigga to do this to, and I don't have the woman that you can disrespect in this kind of way and me not do nothing about it. So that's why he's a lame. Because he took an angle of you only have two options and you did neither of them. The option that you took is I'm going to let Kanye shit on me and my old lady and I'm not going to do nothing
And I'm
about
gonna
it.
just let her
But
deal
what
with
if
it.
it's Kim's lawyers and PR team saying, don't do nothing. We know, whatever. Maybe he was ready to go fight. And they're like, no, because she is going to take him to court. And she is, her PR team's working overtime.
Her PR team is working
his
overtime.
antics.
Cool. It doesn't
'Cause
mean
they're
that
very, like-
that Pete Davidson can't stand up for himself.
That's what I'm saying. You doing
He-
absolutely
Yeah,
nothing.
if Pete Davidson said, hey,
But he
don't
doesn't
nobody ever
have
mention the name
social
Kanye to
media,
me ever
he
again.
doesn't have
And again,
Instagram. He
I feel
didn't
like
even before Kim.
I feel like these are the reasons why though. Because you don't like the things that people say about you that much. Like shit bothers you that much. And then you take this route with who you're
Yeah.
dating. And then you take this route with Kanye. You can't tell me that you're not a lame.
Nigga, go next to somebody who's online and tell them, hey, go live and act like I don't know. And I'm going to be over here like, man, that motherfucking Kanye getting on my last damn nerve. That crazy motherfucker. I swear if he was here right now, I'll whip his ass. Kim is like, no, don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. I'll whip his fucking ass.
Even if
nigga, you recording me?
If they asked him about Kanye,
you gotta do
and
something.
he simply said, I mean, clearly all the stuff that he doing is annoying, but I ain't going to speak on it. If he literally just said that,
Say
that's
something.
it. You feel what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that Pete Davidson's not a great guy. I'm not saying that I couldn't be friends with Pete Davidson. I have friends that I say that when it comes to women and shit that they lame. You feel what I'm saying? So it's that kind of shit.
I was disgusted this weekend. I ain't gonna speak on it, but I was very disgusted with how I see someone I know and fuck with be with a.
That's my point. You know,
sorry,
but this is my problem with people and having kids with people, right? All right, so
wait, real quick to wrap a bow in the Pete Davidson situation. I'm not saying that you need to take the manly route and go be mean and man. I'm saying though, what is being done, man? You can't let that slide, and sadly, that comes with being a man. But like it comes with protecting your household.
I'm saying that makes her undateable. Hey, clear up the situation that you got going on with this dude, and then hit me up. Like, why am I gonna go through the storm with you when I've been dating you for 2 weeks?
That's exactly what they're about to say. Well, you ain't gonna be there for her at her lowest. You don't deserve her at her best.
Cool. I'm sorry. Cool. Your low is too low.
Your low makes me have to go lower.
Like, if your low is like
limbo relationship,
somebody gonna bother me every single day, that's too low.
And bother me worldly. Like this nigga had to send out a message. Please, no one who listens to Kanye music, don't harm Pete Davidson. All right, Kim. See, I told him to. I told him to stand down. Like what? Hey, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
But again, man. But we again more broke talk. They dealing with billions and millions and companies and all that. You know, SNL and all that. Like this is big business. You can't just react like you should.
All right, I'm gonna give you a quick little tidbit here about
shout out Pete Davidson
and children and
Kanye
shit,
West,
right?
Kim Kardashian.
All right, so this is the catch-22 with children, right? Is that what people do? Is they have a child with someone that they shouldn't have a kid with, or someone that they hate, right? But this is my thing.
And they don't know this in the beginning.
Right, okay. And that's fine and it's dandy, right? But at the end of the day, you chose to have a child with this person, right? So you are more at fault than the person. You feel what I'm saying? So even like in my own situation,
it takes two to have a kid, yeah, but it takes one that birth it.
Continue. Oh yes, of course. I won't even get into that right now. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm taking that out of the equation, all right? Because once the kid is here, there's nothing you can do. You feel me? So I look at it like a situation even like for my baby mama give me obstacles and bullshit and make it like hard for me to see my daughter for reasons that are unnecessary, right? But at the end of the day, everything that I deal with my baby mom, I say, I have no one to blame but myself for who I had a kid with. You feel what I'm saying? But in her case, she doesn't, right? So I'm like, if I'm the worst person ever, right? That's completely fine. It doesn't bother me at all, right? But at the end of the day, you have to take accountability that you had a kid with the worst person ever. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the thing, and why I even say in Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson's case, I'm going to give you time to clear this up, and if you like me and you cool and we dope, you should come straight back to me, but you should understand that this is your thing and who you chose to have a child with. I shouldn't have to bear this.
I shouldn't have to step in.
You know what, motherfucker publicly tweet, you ain't never gonna meet my kids. And I'm over here like, well, I do want to meet them. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like you got shit going on that doesn't constitute you being able to be in a relationship.
You shouldn't be able to date right now.
Like I said, undateable.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
You're
so
not
it's
in
like
a
that
dating
kind of shit.
space right now.
So the first thing that people need to do is they need to take accountability for who they had a kid with. And if you take accountability for who you had a kid with, you'll definitely stop blaming that person that you had a kid with for all the issues that you got going on. Like, let's say you got somebody that never pays child support. Then my answer to you is, you shouldn't have had a kid with somebody that's never going to pay child support. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be the accountability part, because like some of these women and men see these shitty people that they go and be in these long-lasting relationships with and then wonder why they're done shitty. It's like, man, you saw that this is how this person acts, but you just thought they wouldn't do that with you because you're so special.
And somebody may respond with, well, how did I know that they weren't going to pay child support? And my response to that is, if you don't know, then you shouldn't be having a kid with that person. If you don't know. That's the problem.
That's the problem with the world.
That's the problem with the world.
That's a world problem. Kid, you can make a kid.
Yes.
You can drunkenly, mistakenly make a kid.
Which is why I don't like the outcome of I'm stuck with someone for life. I'm in charge of somebody for life. And when I say stuck with somebody for life, I'm referring to the other person, not the kid. Even though that's technically true.
It's both.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm stuck to somebody for life, right? I'm responsible for it. And then it's my DNA mixed with someone else's DNA, and I don't know how that's going to turn out. You know, you have no idea how it's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being alive is pretty unfair. It's pretty unfair.
Stop saying that, but you've been saying that multiple times.
It's just unfair.
Episode.
Like, because if those two people have a kid, how is that kid's life not unfair? How's their existence not unfair?
And not only that, the people's lineage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your grandfather might have a heart condition, and now I
So
have
you can't
my
tell
kid
me-
have a heart condition.
Exactly.
That
So
I have
you
to
can't-
now go get a...
Those are like important date questions that no one thinks. to
Yes.
ask.
So you can't tell me that what I'm saying, I should stop saying it. It's the facts. It's very unfair. And then what makes it super duper unfair is that people think we get punished when we die, which we don't. I'll get into that another day. I've gotten into it a million times. But the reason that I don't get punished when I die is because if I didn't choose to be here, how can you punish me when I have to leave? I didn't choose to come here. I have no choice but to leave.
You gotta choose how you was leaving. If you out there selling H or smoking pines and shit, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Nonetheless, you can't hold me responsible for anything that I do here because I never asked to be
You
here.
said that, and you gave me a mind that was
And
made
that I
up.
didn't get to
exactly.
choose. You gave me a date I didn't get to choose. You gave me a house I didn't get to choose. You gave me two people that I didn't get to choose. Like, I had no say-so over any of the shit that happened.
Lord works in mysterious ways. But nigga, stop being so mysterious, man. I
then-
need some help.
Right, but then I get punished at the end of the day. Like, that can't be a thing. That's unfair.
It's very. And then, like I said, you have parts of you that come through in the kid. So, like I said, even if the parent leave, you had a kid with that person's still there.
Irrelevant as fuck. Yeah, the person leaving not doing shit. Like, if you fucking 5'3" and you have a kid with a motherfucker that's 5'6" and they run away, that ain't gonna make the kid tall. Like, your dad's not even around. Why are you so short? Why are you just like that motherfucker?
I thought I left his ass.
But it's like that kind of shit. So it's like, man, all this shit too crazy for people to act how they act when it come to kids, and for how people to behave, how they behave when it come to kids, and all this shit just too crazy and fucked up, man.
So back to what you said in the beginning. I don't understand why people keep having them.
I don't understand it.
But the problem with those relationships and shit is they based on the myth is love. But like you said, if you sat down with a person on the table, it's like, all right, yo, your grandma, she ever had diabetes or the gout?
Yes.
No? All right.
Right.
Exactly. Give me like some of your
Who
shit.
killed themselves in
Have
your
you ever
family?
had any psycho-suicidal thoughts?
Straight
Did you
up.
kill any animals?
Straight up.
And approach it logically. But
Yes.
no, it's like, I need to fall with whoever makes me fall in love with them.
Yeah,
Well, Mr.
like,
Good Morning
yes.
every morning know your life
Yes.
for a year.
If I
Take
say-
7 shots of tequila, go back to my place, and then my period's late.
All right, let's say that happened. You take 7 shots of tequila,
That nigga go-
you go get a little baby pregnant, right? You tell me that story, I'm gonna be like, damn, man, you dumb as fuck, right? But then if you go get a little shorty pregnant and you say, I love her, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's good. But it's like, they're the same. They're the same. They're the same. They're the same.
They're
There's
the same.
somebody that had a baby like how you just explained, and they're better parents than the people that planned and said, we're going to have a baby and do this and do this and do that. There's people that had a baby in the circumstances that you explained, and that kid turned out to be a genius. There's 2 people that planned it, and their kid came out to have mental issues.
Yeah, drunk.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like they are the same. Like, we put this credence on it, like you're smart if you plan it and you're dumb if you don't. But at the end of the day, it's all a bad idea. It's all a bad idea. And the reason that it's all a bad idea is because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yep. Like I showed you that Chinese shit. It's like maybe. It's like you
Right.
never know what's gonna happen, and whatever happens, you don't know if it's good or bad until you see what happens after that.
Hell, if you take the Amazon killer's parents and you talk to them, and they say, That's what they would say for starters. But then second of all, if you ask them like, hey, if it was like, you wish you could still have your son or you wish that he was never born, there's people that are so crazy.
They'll say yes.
That they'll wish that they
because
still
they
had
think,
their son.
I know now. I can
Yes.
stop him
or
from doing
I know
that.
the real him. Like, that's not him. That's not.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like we so crazy that we think it's a good idea. Like there's people who have serial killer sons. They're like, oh, I love him, and he this and that. Like you got a son to grow up and rape people. You can't be like, damn, I'm glad I had a son.
And hey, I want a show where people talk to those people. Like talk to the parents and the family of rapists, molesters, and killers, and we have like an honest conversation. Like, hey, all right, your son's a rapist. That is clear. When did you realize he was a rapist? Well, I don't know. No, this ain't that show. I want the real shit. Well, there was one time he was sneaking in his cousin's room by the door, and he stood behind the shades, and he started jerking off on my curtains. It's like, and you didn't think to say something or do? Well, I just beat his ass. Oh, how did that work out for you? Like, I'd like to have that conversation because you can't.
We covered this already when we said we need to stop treating crazy people like isolated events and just saying, oh, no. Like, oh, we caught him. Let's put him in jail. Problem solved. Like, that's not how to handle
solved.
it. No.
And even so, most people will tell you, criminals who go to jail, that they learn so much more in jail than outside. So what if you in there learning, well, hey, man, I see that you in here for rape too. Yeah. And how you got caught, I would never get caught. This is what you should have did. Nigga, get out and back at it again.
Yeah, that's the truth. But
we're not fixing people. That's why I asked why we here. We're just churning out people. Yeah, we're not fixing them. We're not caring about them. We feeding them anything. Like, we're just churning out people. So I tell you, something must be coming here to pluck people. And we just have to have a wide variety.
Yeah. Like, we're on a big-ass planet where all these people and none of them care about anybody else that's here.
They care more about the fact that there's somebody on another planet than they care about the motherfuckers on the one that they're on.
And the reason that, because I used to always say, like, nobody gives a fuck about anybody else on this planet, and people used to always act like I'm crazy. And the way that you can prove to yourself that this is true is how little, like, how many people have bad parents, right? Like, think about how most of your friends have bad parents, right? And then think about how a lot of your friends are bad parents, right? So it's like, if my parents didn't give a fuck about me, and then my friends don't give a fuck about their kids, how do they give a fuck about anyone? Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? It's like and then you have like a brother that don't give a fuck about you, or a sister that don't give a fuck about you, or an uncle or aunt, and it's like the people who are slam dunks guaranteed to give a fuck about you don't give a fuck about you. So the person that's working at Office Depot clearly doesn't. Like if I'm driving down the interstate and I see two cars slamming into each other and everybody in those cars dies, the first thing I'm gonna think is like, "Whew, I'm glad that wasn't me." Yeah. And it's the same thing that anyone would think.
It sounds terrible, but that is the reaction.
Yeah. So the natural, like human evolution and the natural human interaction and the not reaction is that I'm glad those bad things didn't happen to me. Mm-hmm. And we can all pretend like, oh, my heart goes out to those people that I never knew and I'm never gonna know. Like it doesn't though.
Your heart goes out as far as it could happen to me, and I'm going to continue to hope that it doesn't.
Exactly. And it could happen to me, and that sucks like a lot for whoever that's happened to. So maybe
if I feel sad for them, that will make it not happen to me. That's the brain. Yeah,
but you really don't feel sad for them at all.
I mean, you feel sad until you will feel immediately sadder if you miss your exit.
Oh, for sure.
If you're driving on that freeway, that happened. Like, damn, fuck.
Yes.
Now I gotta go all the way down.
I've gotten stuck on the bridge for like 4 hours before, and when you get stuck on the bridge for 4 hours, somebody died.
But that's what I say. Somebody had better die.
Yeah, like somebody.
What's that to say?
But that's exactly how I feel. All this time, somebody has better be dead.
But what is that?
But it's the truth. It's the truth. That's how the human mind works.
I want this large of an inconvenience to be warranted. And the only way for that is if there's a massive... Yeah. Exactly. Something else.
Yeah. You just threatened to jump. What kind of shit? You need to jump, nigga. If I'm waiting 4 hours, you need to jump.
Nigga, they needed to have said you jumped and somebody jumped and caught you and they was holding them by the feet. And that's why.
But it's because we don't face reality. And the reality is, if I'm waiting 4 hours in traffic because someone jumped off of the bridge, right? The thing that I care about most is that I was waiting most in traffic. And that's what anyone would care about most. It's like, I wish this didn't happen so I don't have to wait in traffic. It's not like I wish it didn't happen because I care so much about human beings and I'm such a great person.
That's
It's like,
secondary.
no, yes.
The first initial intent is like, man, I wish I wasn't in this fucking thing.
No doubt.
Well, I hope they're all right.
No doubt. Like, let's say me and you work together and you took the day off and I text you and I told you that. Your response would be like, damn, I'm glad I'm off today. That would be your only response. Like, man, I'm glad. And if you told your old lady, she'd be like, damn, lucky you. That would be it.
Glad that wasn't you.
You know, that's like it. And it's like, but that shouldn't how it should be.
That can't be what life's about, man.
Yeah. But it sucks that that's what it should be. Because that's how we are built. Like,
so to me, when you say things like why people keep having kids, I look at it from that aspect. Like, this world's broken. Why we keep bringing more people that we claim to care about, that we will care about, into a broken place?
Yes. And you sentence that child to death.
Sex don't have to be a baby.
It doesn't.
It doesn't, but it does.
No, women make it that. For man, a sex could just be a great thing all the time. Is when a woman decides to make it a baby is when it becomes a baby.
You should be prepared and consistent with a
See what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. That ain't good sex.
No.
You gotta be protected and you gotta be, man, that ain't fun. I wanna have fun when I do this.
But after we're done, take this little pill.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, and it is a very avoidable thing.
Those pills should be free, and that's the problem. I'd like to see a world where the Plan B is free, and then see what's the population.
But you can't use a Plan B all the time.
I heard you can own it, but I don't know nothing about it.
I do. But but yeah, you can't use the Plan B all the time. But
well, make some other form of natural contraceptive, man. Maybe I drink some apple cider vinegar or something. Baby gone.
Yeah, man.
But again, I sound how I sound. But my point is, we need to fix our world, man.
We do.
It's like literally, if your house is flooded, you're not finna go buy new furniture and put it in there before you fix the leak.
It's unfixable though, man. And again, that's another way I explain how life is terrible. Like, we have things that go on that are unfixable. Like I say all the time, I live like a life that I enjoy like as much as I possibly can. But it doesn't stop it from being terrible. And it's how I see how people say money isn't everything. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, like just human beings being terrible is like you feel like I want to be rich so I can just be on an island by myself and shit like that. But it doesn't stop the fact that they're still out there. You know what I'm saying?
And you're going to have to interact with them at some point.
Because me and you had a long conversation last night, not to really get into it because we wanted to do a whole episode about it, but how motherfuckers put bullshit in your food that kills you. And how we think like, shouldn't this be illegal? Like, oh, it's FDA approved. And we think, I don't know what the FDA is.
But I know they're responsible.
Yeah, it's clearly got to be something that keeps everything in line for us to be all right. And that's the logical thing to think, but it's really bullshit.
But then when you have loopholes, like a motherfucker changed, like they put things like plant-based and shit on their stuff, and the only thing that makes it plant-based is if you like remove one thing. So it's literally the same thing with one thing removed, but now they legally can put plant-based on front of it. But it's like, hey guys, you let me believe that plant-based is a good thing, but you're manipulating something bad to sound like a good thing. Why are you doing this to me?
That's what they do, man.
And that's what people do.
So it's like from every level.
Exactly.
From all the way up, all the way down here to the bottom feeders. We all hate each other.
The farmers, some of them, they have to use pesticides, and then they go give you the foods. So they trying to kill you unbeknownst to me. And then the company who buying it trying to buy it the cheapest. So they go, well, your shit got pesticides on it, so I'm only finna give you this much. And then your woman is mad at you. So like everything from the world is just meant to be shit. And so then, when you bring somebody into this shit, it's like
you should feel bad.
At least a little bit.
Yeah.
She'd be like, damn, man. Well,
but most people don't because they're in that bliss.
Yes.
Like babies bring complete, you see nothing but pinks and blues and purples and love and rainbows when you have a baby. Like your first few months, you're consumed with that. Your brain releases so many endorphins at that time. You're just like, oh, this is pure joy. And then you realize, yo, this is expensive. I gotta find
every day.
Daycare, school,
every moment.
Like at all times.
And then you factor in, I had a shitty day today, right? So then you look at it like, one day this kid is going to have a shitty day. And the reason that this kid is going to have a shitty day one day is because I brought them into the world.
Or it could be because of me.
And it could be because of me.
People don't look at it that way.
Yeah, like straight up.
I cussed at my daughter. She was on some bullshit the other day, man, and she kept doing like bullshit. So I was like, man, shut the fuck up. Go in the room and just shut the fuck up. I was like, go in the room. What you finna do? Shut the fuck up. And then, but I was that angry at what was happening that I was like, man, I forgot who I was talking to. Literally, I let her bake for like 5 minutes, and then I called her back out there, and I completely apologized. I was like, hey, man, everything I said was not right. I shouldn't have said it, but this is why. You understand that? She's like, yeah, completely. I was like, yes, but that doesn't mean I should have said this or did this. Right. But I want you to know it took me to this level of anger. And the only thing that I could do was, I guess, yell at you in a mean way. I wanted to be mean with you because of what you did. I needed to do something. And all I have power to do is be mean. But I don't want to be mean to you because you shouldn't have to experience me being mean to you. So I'm going to immediately make you happy. So erase that meanness. But I needed for you to bake for like 5 minutes to live in a world where your action caused me to be this fucking mean. And that's not fair to her.
I was just about to say something similar.
But that's why I apologize immediately.
But like, even if you care, you know what I'm saying? Even if you try your best, you're still only human, and they deserve better than that. You feel what I'm saying?
They deserve better than your human moment.
Right.
Again, that's why I had to atone immediately for and then the next day I brought her all kind of toy and shit. So it's like, hey, let's get that moment completely out your mind. But I hope you remember that moment on some, let me not do these things to get him there.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
talking to my brother and shit recently, and I was like, man, I like buy my daughter all this shit and blah, 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 blah. I said, so she doesn't really know struggle. I said, but then struggle like builds character and helps you understand things about the real world, right? So then I sit back and I think, well, is it the right thing that she doesn't know struggle? And then you break it down on the, I like to do things these days. I like to break things down to the simplest form. And the simplest form is, if she doesn't know struggle, is that a positive or negative? You got to consider it a positive because you never think, well, I want her to struggle. You feel what I'm saying? But by the same token, am I right?
But it's a negative because you're not going to be with her when she's a grown person in the world. Exactly. And not knowing struggle makes it to where she's able to be taken advantage of.
But this is an example why things suck, right?
There's no right or wrong answer.
I know that what you're saying is right? You know that what you're saying is right? But you're still going to go out of your way to make her avoid struggle. You feel me?
Yes.
So it's like, even when I feel like I'm doing the right thing, I could easily see how it's wrong.
Yes.
And again, if I'm wrong, I put that onto someone else.
Yeah, that's the world. That ain't me.
Yeah.
Again, the reason I feel that I yell at my daughter in that manner is because she has to understand consequences for her actions. I don't want her to have the beating consequences because I don't think that that's right or work. So I need to find something new. But verbal abuse is also abuse.
Yeah.
So I have to not have it be verbal abuse. I have to have it be a low moment, like you said, a human moment, and then explain, hey, this is not how I feel about you. This is not shit. This is a human moment. Your actions were so egregious that they needed to be handled in some way, shape, or form. I'm not going to beat you because beating you does nothing. You love me so much that me being mad at you hurts more, so I'm going to be mad at you for you to feel it that way. But I don't want you to have a complex about a nigga to where now you're like, man, he's just a fucking dick. So now it's like, this is not fair to no party involved.
But it's even the same thing when you want to like teach them shit. It's like, my nigga, I want to have fun. I don't want you to just be like, hey, learn this, learn this, learn this. So it's like some shit that you might be like, man, I ain't going to even bother you with teaching you because I don't want to be the one person that every time you wake up, I'm like, hey, read a book. Hey, learn to type.
So
hey, do this.
I try to make it fun.
Hey, only drink water.
That's why I try to make it fun. Because I'm like, I don't want to, like, again, I don't want to be the one, like you said, that's always implementing these struggle things, or you got to learn, or you got to do, like now, she wants to do math because I made doing math fun.
And I agree with you, and I did this myself. But when your daughter gets young Blank's age and he get my daughter age, you can't make it fun.
That's my thing. If I already put it in place, I want to be able to use that escrow.
But it's gonna be new, it's gonna be new shit that didn't have nothing to do with the shit that you taught them when they was little. Because it's more like grown up shit.
But
now.
It's foundation. If your foundation is built in something, you can always bridge off that foundation.
I completely agree.
That's my logic, man.
I completely agree, and you're right. But at the end of the day, they become their own person, and that just it is what it is at that point.
So influenced by others, man.
Yeah.
So, and that's
It's
why I
crazy,
think
man.
so congratulations to Plays, his kid, my cousin and her kid, and everybody out there who's having these loving kids that they really want to bring into the world, be better in the world, and for them, they will then be better in this world. But at the same token, on the backhand side of that, it's like, man, this world is too broken to be bringing motherfuckers into, man.
But even by the same token, even if you look at it from like a logical standpoint, it's like, well, what else we supposed to do?
Then that's what I'm saying, because we don't know what the fuck we here to do.
Yeah, what
so
else we
I know
supposed
one
to do?
thing we do while we here, we fucking we have kids.
Yeah. Like, what else we supposed to
So until somebody tell us this ain't what you're supposed to be doing, or you not supposed to be doing it,
Right.
Because there's some people who don't want kids, and then there's people who look and shame those people, like, what? You don't want kids? What's wrong with you? You ain't shit. And it's like, hey, why does everyone have to have kids?
Yeah.
Well, because that's what we're here for. Who the fuck told you that?
do? Would you ever have another kid?
Listen, we talked about this before, right? And I told her the other night, right? Here's my prerequisites for having a kid, right? It needs to be within the next year or so.
Ooh.
And because my logic, we getting older, man. I ain't trying to fucking be dealing with these old being old dealing with these kids, man.
Right.
And secondly, we have to have a large sum of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we have to have enough money to have like a nanny or one of those types of people in place.
Did you steal this idea from me?
It's the logicalest idea.
I feel like you stole this idea from
And
me.
lastly, I need to make sure it's a boy.
Yeah.
So if all those things can be met within the next year or so, we can have a kid.
That's why I know I'm never gonna have another kid, because those are the parameters.
Yes, and those ones are
Like,
very steep.
like I need to be rich in one of those ways where it's like when I go on vacation, like the nanny with us.
Do we know? Thank you. Right now, I take my sister.
Like, we finna go get on these jet skis. You and the kids have a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I would need to be. Like seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the only way I'm willing to deal with it, man. Because again, right now, my daughter is too much, and it'd be too much for two of us.
Yeah.
It's like shit, man. It's like I can't do this. And then like, again, it has to be a boy because I'm not with all this woman shit. My daughter is so emotional. It drives me crazy, man.
See, I love having a daughter like a motherfucker. But the reason that I would want a boy is because I have a daughter. You smell me? Like, I have a daughter. Like, I feel like if I had a son, I would probably want a girl. You feel what I'm saying? But
I
it's
feel
like,
you.
know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm happy with my daughter, and that's another reason I don't want another girl because I don't want to share my love that I have for my daughter with some other woman.
I feel the same way. I'm happy with her exactly how she is. So I wouldn't want something different from
I wouldn't
her.
want nothing competing with that.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, I know my daughter and I love her, and I know she's going to compete for my love and my attention. And then, so now I'll have no time to myself because I have two kids that want all of the attention. You know what I'm saying?
I think there was a thing on one of those social media sites that said some woman said, "I wish I was my boyfriend's daughter" or something along those lines.
I know exactly what you mean.
Do you know? Okay, what do you guys think about that?
Basically, this is what like she means. Like I used to tell my daughter all the time, I wish I was my dad. Like that's what I tell her.
Okay, well, yes.
So she's saying it like that. Like I wish I was my boyfriend daughter. Like she get treated so exactly.
People were like saying negative stuff.
I think because they misunderstood how it sounds.
Yeah, I get that.
I didn't know how it sounds too until it was just explained.
I only got it because I get it. You feel what I'm saying?
But that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And again, this is where communication fucks so much shit up. If she said, "Man, I love the way my boyfriend treats his daughter. It's so amazing how he do. Man, I wish he was my dad." That's how you say that.
Yeah.
You don't say, "Man, I wish I was my boyfriend's daughter." It's like, wait a minute.
But
what y'all be doing in the
It's just from a
bedroom?
standpoint of she means her specifically. Like that girl got it good,
Yes.
and he loved the fuck out of her. You feel what I'm saying?
Not I want to
So
be.
yeah,
Yes.
I completely get it.
That I completely agree
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
But that's a testament to how dope of a parent you are. I absolutely would like for my daughter to be
Yeah.
me.
I always tell my daughter that. I be like, I don't even know what you feel about me, but I'll tell you straight up. I wish I was my pops. Like,
Fuck yeah.
got treated like you get treated. Like no bullshit.
Man, listen. Sometimes with my lady, how she takes care of her son. Sometimes I don't understand if it's me being jealous because my mother wasn't there to take care of me, but I also see how life is, and the way you're taking care of him is going to ruin his life when you're not there to take care of him. But then again, I think but again, is that jealousy?
Right.
Like she'll be working, come home from work, he'll be playing games. She'll go make this nigga a full blown meal and then take that shit to him to eat.
But
and
it's
while
the
he's
exact same thing we was just talking about. You looking at it like, what the fuck? Because he doesn't know the struggle. And you know the downside to not knowing the struggle.
Yes.
But then she may be looking at it from
I came home from school and had to make my own lunch.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Or she might look at it from like your standpoint. Like, he grew up without a mom, so I'm finna make sure that my motherfucking nigga got everything. So he won't never grow up to be like, fuck my mom. I want him to grow up to say, shit, my mom used to bring me lunch. My mom used to make sure I was this. My mom,
Like,
you feel what I'm saying?
he'll take
So it's like,
pictures
we're
and
always wrong.
Send it to his friends and be like, my mom made this. And I'm like, that's cute to me.
See?
Like, that means something to me.
You feel what I'm saying?
Acknowledges the fact
But
that
you completely get how it's terrible.
Yes, because again, I can foresee the end result.
Okay.
And a person that
but-
can't do
but
these things for themselves is going to be problematic to them and the people in their life.
It's why life is terrible.
I know they go over there like,
It's why.
See?
Like, check it
See?
out. Okay,
This
because
is
look.
why.
Because look, okay? Would I rather have what her son has or what you had as a son?
That's a fact.
You smell me?
That's a fact.
You smell me?
That's a fact.
So that's the issue.
But hey, how about I say this? Maybe. Maybe. Because how is he going to turn out now when he probably can't keep a woman, his friends, he can't live with nobody, and he's having to do some of these struggles because of what he was not able to learn on his journey to adulthood. Because this person kept interfering.
Okay.
Oh, I'll clean your room.
Okay.
I'll yell at you
I don't disagree
for
with
not
what you're
folding
saying.
your clothes, but I'll
Okay.
fold the clothes.
Okay, so let me rephrase it.
Go.
Okay? Would I rather have his childhood
That's how
or
that
your
comes.
childhood?
Yes. But
Yes.
but the childhood, it affects the adult.
But my whole point is...
you can't have one without the other.
But my whole point is, if you are looking at your children, and those are your two options, which one you gonna give them?
That's why
so
you
what
need
you
a
do
side- that's why
is
you
you
need
try
a
to meet
nanny.
them in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like for me, it's like I try to give my daughter everything that she wants, but I try to make her understand that things cost money. I try to make her understand appreciation. I try to make her understand like you don't deserve everything in
Just
the
'cause you
world.
want.
You get it because you're fortunate, and you get it because it's a big deal when you get these things. Even though I know
Earned
it's
it and
not a
stuff,
big
but-
deal because it's so easy and it's regular for you, but understand it's a big deal in the grand scheme of
You
things.
got to teach the lesson they're not going to get from the struggle.
Exactly. So that's what I do, right? But am I just giving myself an excuse for just buying her whatever she wants?
It's a double-edged sword.
You feel me?
Because
I could just be giving myself an excuse. Oh, she understands.
Yep.
No,
So,
she
here you
knows
go.
she need to say, "Hey, Dad, I really appreciate you buying this at the mall." That's then I take it as she understands.
Mm-hmm.
But she may just understand what I'm supposed to say to this one
Exactly.
specific guy to get him to keep buying me the things that I want.
But to me, I like that lesson. Thank you. That's how I look at it. That's a win. Because if you're not going to know how to do it, at least know how to make someone else.
It's the truth. It's the
That's
truth.
how I look at
That's
it.
the truth. So that's the perfect median if we had to guess what the perfect median is because we are guessing.
But hey, maybe.
But yeah, maybe.
Never
we could be
know.
completely wrong.
Could be
The right thing to
completely
do
wrong.
may be to dip on them from day one. That might be the best thing.
Go ahead and struggle. See how it is without me. So now when I come back and I give you
up.
everything you want out of regret, you get the best of both worlds.
You can't prove to me that the best thing for, like, in your case, I'll even say you.
Give it.
You can't prove to me that the best thing wasn't your mom leaving. You feel what I'm saying? For you. Like, my pops was a fucking asshole. I can't prove that him not being an asshole would have made me turn out better. I can't prove
That's
that.
what I'm saying, man.
Guess you'll never.
So again, that's another way how life is shitty.
This nigga hate life. I know, right?
Because I hate to think of this.
Yes,
like,
yes.
my point is,
That
this
was
is
a-
who I naturally am, this mentality. But I don't like to dwell in this mentality because there's no happiness in this
Yup.
mentality. But this mentality is who I truly
Like
am.
we always say, man, it's not a positive to be to know.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? To be-
Because the things I'm saying are facts, but they make me sad.
Yeah, that's why ignorance is bliss, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But then being ignorant, you get used in ways, and you end up
Yes.
eating. You know what I'm saying? You end up thinking McDonald's is helping you by feeding you.
No doubt.
Like that's ignorance. So it's
Yeah.
like, you can't be ignorant when you know.
Yeah.
But then once you know, you want to know more because everything's connected to something else that needs to know.
No doubt.
Okay, well, how does McDonald's get away with that?
Right.
Well, they own their own factories and their own trucks,
Right.
so they don't need nobody. So ain't nobody can go on strike for them. Ain't
Right.
none of that shit. Well, how the fuck are they able? So you need to learn.
Yeah.
And the more you
And
learn,
it's
the
then
more
also
you
like-
yearn.
But then it's on some shit. It's like,
The
well,
more you
there's
learn, the
people
more you yearn.
that eat McDonald's all the time and they live to be 90. So McDonald's can hang their hat on stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? But then it's some people that die at 40 because they eat McDonald's all the time. But if I'm McDonald's, I hang my hat on. This is Lester. He's been coming to McDonald's since 1940. He comes here every single day and he orders a Big Mac and blah, 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 blah. And he's just our favorite customer. And I show him on the commercial. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I look at that and say, oh, shit, that's cool. But it's not cool.
It's not cool.
It's not cool because I can mimic him and that be my death.
But it's how they sell you.
It's all bullshit.
Well, my mom had pork chops and a cigarette every day for 95 years.
Exactly.
So it's like, so pork chop and cigarettes are good.
Exactly. But then by the same token,
Cancer is caused by pork skin and cigarette use.
Another reason, though, that life is shitty is that I can eat organically from the time that I'm born and I can die at 30. But from natural causes.
From the pesticides.
So, yeah, it's all unfair and it's all bullshit. And it's like, that's where I live, and I live in that because that is all of our reality.
And that mind is the mind that would say, that's why you shouldn't bring more people here. Because look at all these unanswered questions. Look at all these demonic fucking ways of getting things for money. And you're willingly bringing someone in to endure that. And then you're not going to be able to control which aspect of it they endure. You can be an amazing parent and your kid be the one that get kidnapped by a molester or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no fault of your own. A fault of the world that you brought this motherfucker in.
Yes, bro.
It's that's what I'm saying. It's fucked up. So that's why when it's an equal congratulations that it is, what are you doing?
Yes. And people don't have no accountability, though. Like,
back to that.
Yeah.
Right back to the
Because
beginning.
even for myself, right? Like, me and my baby mom, we don't get along very well, right? And for me, I feel a huge sense of guilt because of that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel that she does. But my whole point is, I feel a huge sense of guilt for that. And it's because of how I look at things. Like, if you don't look at things like I look at things, why would you have a sense of guilt? Because you just look at it like, oh, I just give my best and I try my best and I try to be the best dad I can be, or I can try to be the best mother I can be. But I understand that, like, me and my baby mama not being cool, that's a disservice to my daughter.
I was just about to say that part.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's where you feel the problem.
So it's like that kind of shit. You feel me? So I'm like, that sense of guilt on that alone, no matter how great of a father I can try to be, or even no matter how great of a mother that she tries to be, just that simple fact that we don't fucks with each other is a sense of guilt that I always will carry.
It's a wrinkle. It's, again, to back to what you were saying, the reason I overdad my daughter is because I had a missing parent. Right. So it's like, one, I'm going to make sure that you don't have a missing parent, and I want you to have the best two-parent experience that I would have thought that I would have had I had two parents. You know what I'm saying? So,
and then I have people like me, right?
Two parents.
Like for me, if like me and my baby mom was in a relationship, we wouldn't have like a healthy parenting relationship, right? And then my parents didn't have a healthy parenting relationship. I know for sure that my life would have been better if I just lived with my mom. You feel what I'm saying? So then, again, I hear your shit and I say, wow, that's good and that's a good idea. And then I think, well, should I have done that? And then I think, well, no. And then I think, well, shit, I wouldn't have even wanted my parents to do that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, your way is the right way, but then I feel like if I was with my moms by myself, that would have been the right way. So it's like,
hey, maybe.
Yeah, it's all a bunch of fucking big babies.
A bunch of fucking big babies. Because you never know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, and then I'm annoyed by people that think they know shit.
Certain people are where they are because a parent left.
Yeah.
But they would never accept that, essentially, because like I would have traded whatever I am for you to be here.
Right.
You say that being here.
Right.
You wouldn't say that. No, it's the same reason to ask people right now, if you could kill somebody right now and not know who it is, but you get $1 million, they pressing buttons. Of course. Because you living in the now and you want the that. It's the same if you're in the that, you'll wonder about the now.
Oh, for sure.
Life is a big fucking who knows, my nigga.
All right, I got a question for you. This is the type of question they ask on like TikToks and shit, right? All right, so check it out. If you could press a button, all right, to kill someone that you know in real life, and you could be guaranteed that it's not your daughter, would you do it?
I wouldn't, man. What am I doing this for? Is it money?
For $1 billion.
I wouldn't do that for money, man.
You would?
I'll push a button.
Yeah, I would definitely push a button.
See what I'm saying?
Think about all the people that you don't know that you don't give a fuck about. That you know that you don't give a fuck about.
But then,
like, I won't take my chances.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not willing to take the chances. Because I have enough people that I would never want to see, you know what I'm saying, ride to bank on. Sadly, man, let me tell you the answer to this in a sick me head question, right?
Right.
Anytime I see somebody lose a family member, I literally sit and I go, which one of my family members I'd be okay with losing if they die? And then, like, it'd be a fight for like 2 of them.
See, for me,
man,
man,
be like, that's
it's like
up,
really my only real family, like real for real, is like my cousins and my brothers and my sisters that I grew up with. Like, we small.
And people who have less family and stuff like that are able to easilier make that decision. That's why her ass was over there like, I'll press the button, nigga. Immediately I'll press it. It's like, all right, you have your batch of people who you would love and like to see around family-wise is small.
But yeah, and you're also not a gambler. I'm pressing the button because I'm a gambler. Because, like, look at it like this. What if you press the button and like your boss at your job dies? It's like, you feel me? It's like, do we have any regrets? You know what I'm saying? Do you have any regrets?
I don't even got to care about that last check because I'm finna get $1 billion.
So it's like, I'm going to take the chance. If it's just, all you're guaranteeing is it's a person I know, not an immediate family member.
It could be the barista at my Starbucks.
Seriously, it could be your barber or something. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking those chances. I know a lot of people. Like, I'm taking those chances. And then I was guaranteed that it's not my daughter. Come on, man. Like, it's easy. That's an easy decision. I think you're crazy for not saying that you would.
See, man. See, hey, listen. So that goes. People who know me, y'all needed to pay me for my love because I'm sacrificing $1 billion to keep y'all asses alive and around.
But there's people that
Cash
know
App
you
Rebel Raw Bucks.
Like, it's people that you know that like
Thank
don't
you.
even know that you're Rebel Raw though. Like, your kid teacher and shit.
And she knows.
I know you're about to say shit.
But I'm saying, okay, let's say she knows you though. Like,
your point.
that's $1 billion.
This is how I'm so Rebel Raw.
Uh-huh.
Somebody texted me from a number that's not in my phone, and then they text me an old picture of me, and I don't know who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
The common person would go, yo, who is this? I just responded, man, that was classic.
It feels like it was yesterday.
And then the person is like, man, you still rapping? So then I go, this person
person
don't
doesn't
know
know.
me. So I said, nah, well, I rap from time to time on the podcast. Here go to YouTube. They responded, I don't need to know who you are. I don't need to know nothing. That's me.
That nigga set up an advertisement and shit. Like, hey, man. But that makes sense.
Because whoever you are, you know we don't talk. So you texting me on a number you know I don't have and don't say who you are, I'm not about to ask
But
you.
the funny part about it is that, like, you text me out of the blue, but you don't fuck with me enough to listen to my podcast. So I was like, why did you even text me? You don't fuck with me. You don't know what I've been doing, and you wouldn't even listen to my podcast.
And again, I send the podcast and you cease communication. I win.
what?
Let's go back to me not knowing who you were and not talking to you, I guess.
Like, for real. That's
Or
funny,
hit me
man.
up and say, man, the podcast was amazing, man. It's like, hey, man, great to connect.
That's funny.
What's your email again so I can send you something?
People are something else, man. But yeah, man, that's all I've really been on these last few weeks, man, is that people just get on my nerves.
Listen, and I hope my boy gets cleansed, man. I hope, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I hope today was one of those episodes where you get to let it out.
It wasn't because people wanted to annoy me right before the episode started. So
and then you can't even get to what it is on the episode, so you got to
because
still
I don't
got
even
it.
fully know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the dark willingly.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's just stupid shit, man.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Raw Hypers. I know y'all see the pink. It's Valentine's Day, man. We loving people out here. We hoping they love us back.
Hey, lucky one.
Hey, go to rawhype.com. Go ahead and click something. Oh, you know we YouTube partners now.
Chill.
So go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. It's very useful. You know, don't skip the ad. I wonder if they skip the ad. I don't know.
We don't get paid.
We don't get paid if you skip the ads. So maybe you should watch for 15 seconds. You might not know what you may like. You might get a bike, I reckon. Look, I don't know what you need. Whatever you need, hopefully we supply. I have spit in my mouth, man.
I got spit in my mouth.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Then long, let me do it. Nothing to it. I spit flows, they fluid. Go ahead and go and click on that subscribe. I'm gonna have to say something tonight on the video. I'm gonna meet me a sedity hoe. We going on tour. We coming to your city, bro. Go ahead and get them tickets.
Yeah, actually, we should go live this year. We should have you pull up to wherever we at, where we reside this year. We gonna be live this year. We gonna go high this year. When you pull up to the Raw Hype, say hi this year. RawHype.com. Go shop with us. Go ahead and give some top to us. If you love us, it's what you motherfucking claim, so don't be lame to the motherfucking game. You know exactly what it is and how it is. We love everybody and kids, but we rather you not have them sons of bitch. Don't bring them in this world, you little baby girl. People gonna hate her.
Hey, one thing about Raw is he be rapping about them segments. One thing about your bitch, don't get her pregnant. You gonna regret that, because that kid gonna want some shit, new shoes, and wanna go on a cruise. You make it on the news when you shoot your baby mama and shit. All she wanna do is call you charging drama and shit. I'm like, damn, ho, you somebody I can't stand. You want me to be your man, but that's something I can't ever
Look, I
plan
can't be
for.
your man. I hope that you took that plan B, so you wouldn't be here harassing me. I just want a life without you. I don't sleep right without you. I can't sleep at night because of you. I hate you. Whatever you did in my life, nigga, I rate you.
I want to Amazon kill your ass and leave a review. You know I want to spill you fast. I'm like, damn, I'm glad I got that shovel. Dug a hole, and then I threw that bitch in it, because she a hoe. And then I'm stabbing and grabbing, and then I'm going to go and get some shit established. Then I'm going to go and buy
Amazon killer.
You know
He did. He killed too much people that he wouldn't have did if you didn't have a kid. So actually, you the one that did.
Damn, the beat kind of cut off early, man. We didn't even really get busy.
No, man. Put on something else.
Yeah, let's go one more, man.
Hey, this is a new year, man. Again, we are YouTube partners now,
Let's stick
man.
with
We
this
getting
beat.
ads. I know, I kinda like it,
Yeah,
right?
I'm kind of rocking with it.
Oh.
It's like a picture of a regular nigga in his
Hugging this girl. So, I mean, I got something to say.
Woo!
I'm late. What? Oh, man, great. What we gonna do? You gonna keep it? Well, I mean, at least keep it a secret. You know I got a girl. You know I got a kid. You know this is gonna affect how I live. Man, what you done did? We should have been protected. Well, actually, I told you and you started to neglect it. So why you mad at me, nigga? This your kid. How you know that's mine? You the only nigga I've been with. What you think, I'm some kind of hoe? Man, I don't know, man. Something gotta go. Man, I can't be right here no more. I gotta ride. Look, you just gonna leave me with this baby inside? Man, actually, I hope you and that baby die. Man, what is... I can't believe this is you.
We're talking skip town, skip town. You know I had to skip town, skip town. I ain't stand up, I sit down, stand down. I sit
Cause
down.
I can't be here no
sit
more.
down.
A nigga had to skip town.
Skip town.
And a nigga had to skip town.
I skip town.
Ooh, I had to skip town.
I skip town.
I can't stick around.
Look,
around. I
look.
can't.
I skip town. Yeah, you know the rest.
The rest.
As soon as I seen that pregnancy test, I had a tight feeling right in my chest. I said, I'll be right back. And she said, where you going? You look kind of nervous. I kept running like I didn't even heard this. I'm like, I gotta get up out of here. I bought a plane. Well, I bought a ticket. And then I moved, man. I went to a new place where she can't find me. The birth certificate, I didn't sign it. And then I changed my number on that hoe. And I said, you and that baby got to go.
A nigga had to skip town, skip town. A
nigga had to
skip town, skip town. Ooh,
A nigga
I
had to
skip town. I can't stick around. No, look, a nigga had to skip town, skip town. Nigga had to skip town. You got a verse?
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's a song.
man.
Hey, man, if you can't stand up for your kid like
Hey,
you're supposed
man.
to, hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, skip town, man. If you ain't gonna be a great father, or even if you just don't like the bitch, skip town.
Skip
man.
town, man.
We're about here,
That was
baby.
it?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
this was right out. Shout out to the Raw Hype, man. Shout out to the Raw Hypers, man. We appreciate y'all, man.
We
We
do,
truly
man.
do. We definitely, truly do. We appreciate you being in the peanut gallery over here. Make sure you cop some merch, man. We got special colors. We got new colorways. Support the damn thing, man. You did?
We're about here.
Got for them people, man. Nah, we gotta skip down.
Skip
I love that
town.
shit, man. Skip down.
Skip town.
Like a nigga got to skip town.
Skip town.
Cause I can't stick around, round. I pack my bags and leave. I had the first ticket up out of this town we been.
This brother
I can't
stop,
do
man.
what you've been doing, baby. I can't have me another baby.
Hey, man.
We outta here, baby.
Man. We gone.
Oh, wrong shot.
Yeah, man. Why?
With nobody, I can't fake it though. And I put that on my seed. If that ever come to be, Lord, take my soul. I vow to never break the code. And I always keep it G, but I'm knowing just like me, they don't make no more. Can't let nobody play me though. It's however you wanna play it, so just know all the way there, I'ma take it. Change for better while I'm chasing though. End of the day, I'm trying to make it home. There's a chance that I don't, but that's the way it goes.